and criminally, I think, defrauded from our natural rights of compact here. But the point of the matter is this: the states have the power to reclaim these powers that have been taken from them, because it's their power. It's the power that they got from the sovereigns of their state, that is the people.
Yes, they've usurped our power, and now the state tells us they're God, and police are taught worshiping the government is what is patriotic.
Right. It's very dangerous, and we've just become so used to it. We've become mind slaves to their agenda, and we need a serious awakening and enlightenment of this understanding. But once people understand this, it will cause a tremendous movement, I believe, in restoring our republic, because it's like the competition of commerce or the economic competition model. This will be a competition of ideas that will allow the 50 states to once again find out what works best within their state, within their borders, and we can have freedom restored to this republic. As long as we have this monopolized power that we are forced to accept to the federal government, I don't think there's going to be much hope to get ourselves out of this. But
absolutely, and the COINTELPRO operatives, every time we try to build something or a movement, they'll go, "It's not instant. You're stupid. We need to just shoot everybody." They always turn out to be feds. They know we're in the right, and if we just in an orderly way educate people, we're going to win. Stay there. We'll be right back with Timothy Baldwin.
Finally in the news this evening, it's being reported that cyber spies from Russia and China have now penetrated our power grid. Even as energy experts are reporting that each summer we get closer and closer to the limits of our nation's power grid, some say that this summer's demand for electrical power may finally push the grid over its edge, creating a cascade of power outages across the country, putting us all in the dark.
Are you prepared for the next round of storm-related outages or government-created blackouts? Have you ever thought about taking steps to get off the grid and generate your own private supply of electrical power? If so, this will be the most important information you have ever heard. Solar-powered generators are finally available. They have no moving parts to wear out or break and require absolutely no gas whatsoever. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Check out mysolarbackup.com before you lose your power.
Chuck Baldwin's politically active lawyer's son, fighting the tyranny, joins us. Wrote the column Freedom's Destruction Through Constitutional Deconstruction. Got about 5 minutes left, and I'm coming back with phone calls with the first 5-minute segment, then a news blitz, then more phone calls, then Lindsey Williams. You want to hear about the UN openly announcing world government yet again, arrogantly, and how the carbon tax is the key to it all. And I think the key for us to understand, Mr. Baldwin, is that we are running out of time. We are now here inside the world government. Instead of corruption that's running rampant, just stagnating, it's blooming. And now is the time for everybody to start seeing themselves as leaders and getting involved. And it doesn't mean we'll save the world by ourselves, but many hands make light work. Closing comments, Timothy Baldwin.
Well, Alex, I think that we are, in fact, short of time, and I believe that we are at a decision where, similar to our founding fathers, like Samuel Adams said, we either decide to declare our independence now and live as free men, or we decide to just go along and live as slaves. And I truly believe that we are reaching that point. And as you said, we are not going to be able to save the world by ourselves, but we can try to save our communities. We can try to save our states, and that's exactly the model that the Founding Fathers gave to us, to keep matters that affect us the most on a state and local level. And when we do that, we will keep the federal government and those people who would use us as their little pawns, we will keep them at bay. To me,
and we need zero compromise, and to know the politicians' tricks, both parties, and to really get aggressive and just say, look, I see through all your corporate scams. I know you got handbooks on how to lie to me. The games are over. And if that means following a corrupt judge as an investigative reporter and catching him with hookers, if that means, it's time to start playing hardball with this scum. They're all criminals. We need to go after them legally and lawfully.
I agree with that, and I think, too, it's time for the people to really start what I would consider to be ignoring the federal government. In other words, don't give them the flattery that they're getting from us. Ignore them.
They're not officials. They're not authorities. And at the same time, go ahead.
They're illegitimate, Alex. And I think with that, if we can focus on our state legislators, our state governors, judges, county commissioners, sheriffs, if we can start getting those people to realize our concerns and actually have them represent us, and not just us, but represent the principles of freedom, I think that we can restore this republic. But unfortunately, not all states are going to go along with that. There will be some that, of course, ignore that and will go along with this agenda that has been shoved down our throats for so many years. But, Alex, it is time for us to step up. We cannot be lethargic any longer. We have to do this now, and that's why I appreciate what you're doing so much.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing, Timothy Baldwin, in the footsteps of your father. But in closing, the good news is Republicans and Democrats I talk to now know both parties are controlled. They finally have figured it out. It's been a process, but more and more are waking up. And people aren't saying we need to fix the government. They're saying the whole thing's rotten, the whole thing's corrupt, the whole thing's evil, and it's over. And the establishment knows that. That's why they're trying to come in to intimidate people and to bring in this tyranny. But that is not going to work. And so I salute you and I appreciate you. Fire out a website where folks can learn more about what you're doing. The 10th Amendment Center?
Well, the 10th Amendment Center is a great website. It's run by Michael Bolden. He does a great job. But my website actually is www.libertydefenseleague.com.
And folks can get involved with the Liberty Defense League at libertydefenseleague.com. Via con Dios, Timothy.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for joining us. Back in 70 seconds with the second half of this transmission. Your phone calls, News Blitz, and Lindsey Williams.